Oops. Sugar. That's my careful face. Oh. Getting a little bit kinky over here. Alright, so we are returning to a classic playlist today, the 4-3-2-1 playlist, something actually I did a batch of a few months ago and I was like, just give me a little break and I'll come back to it. I just fancy a little bit of a change and here we are. So basically it was 4 3-ingredient recipes to try one time in your life. So really, we went quite harsh on the 3-ingredient thing, but you guys absolutely loved it and got involved and it was a really beautiful thing. Now, I've had a little bit of a think about the 3-ingredient thing, and I've been really harsh on myself in the past. Things like water, it's just staples, things like oil, flour, maybe even butter that you'd have around your house anyway. I was like, nope, if it's 3 ingredients, that's 3 ingredients. And when I come back to this playlist now, I feel like we've done that challenge enough and I want to maybe just say add a little bit, teeny bit more, but by doing that, it opens up so much. So 1 or 2 today, we'll stick to the 3 hardcore rule, but the other 2, I'll just show you the potential, and if that's all right with you for the rest of this batch of this playlist, why am I doing my hands so much? You'll get it, and you'll be like, yeah, I get why you did that. Because some of you were like, water's water, you know? Flour's flour, we all have it, so yeah. What I'm trying to say is by the end of this video, potentially it might be raining outside. The dogs will have had a nap. And also, we should have a mushroom and onion risotto. We should have crab cakes. We should have a brownie milkshake and a lemon and raspberry tart. Yeah, so there are 1 or 2 cheeky ones today. Like, in fact, no, we don't want the lid in the pan. We are going to do double cheekiness for the crab cakes. Oil to fry them, which I totally think that's fine. It's just another thing to help it fry. I can't fry without the oil, can I? And the other thing is flour. But in fact, what I'll do is show you one. We'll do it now. Okay, so this is a Pyrex mixing bowl. I've got lots of them. And I don't know if you saw my Twitter, yesterday, we were making some toad in the hole, the batter, whisking it, and the bowl, we didn't hit it on anything sharp or anything like that. We were just doing it on the surface. In fact, right here, and it shattered glass everywhere. We were all okay. We found all little shards of glass. We've got every little bit up, but apparently they're quite known for that. I didn't know that. I might be swapping my bowls very soon. For the crab cakes, we're going to use crab meat. Now, if you don't like crab, can't get crab, whatever, you could use tuna. Tinned tuna is just as good, or any other tinned fish, but I really do like crab. Okay, so we're going to open up the tin, and there is a gadget for draining off a can if you need it. It's really, really good. It's called a can colander. Or you could just put the lid on and do that, or for a sieve. There's many other options. My gadget drawer, intentionally untidy. I don't know if any of you guys watch Alan Partridge, but actually one of the facts that he once did, this actually does double reverse, there we go, 2 different sizes. He said that crab sticks don't actually contain any crab, and I think that is generally true. Isn't it like surimi or something like that? I forget the name of it. But anyhow, this can colander is brilliant because you want to get as much of that moisture and basically just get the core meat as much as you can. I mean, if you get it too wet, that's fine, you can just add some more flour, but yeah. Okay, I've never ever seen SpongeBob SquarePants, but I often get asked to do recipes from it. And I was kind of hoping, oh, there you go. Isn't there something called like a crab patty from SpongeBob? There you go, that's a crab patty. You could easily make a crab burger, couldn't you? It's a cool idea. Oops. Crab meat. And that does smell pretty bad, actually. And I'm not going to go this crazy with it now, but what I was saying about adding a few more things that you would have around the house, like salt and pepper in there right now, and later with this. You do that, all right? You please do that for me. Thanks. I am going to be a bit naughty though, okay? This is self-raising flour. We've only got that, which is also known as cake flour, because we used all the plain flour for having to make 2 lots of dough with the bowl shattering. But I am going to be naughty because I don't want to class this going forward really as an ingredient. You should have flour around your house anyway, generally. Do you agree with that, Boston? Thank you. So what this basically means is if we're classing the flour as like a staple in your house, in your store cupboard, lard or whatever, it means we can now add 2 different ingredients. You know, with crab cakes, add some dill in there, add some mayonnaise, add some ginger, whatever you want. Oh, paprika. But I'm going for a chili and some spring onions. Get the heads off. I'm not going to need that many. There we go, that'll do. Oh. Now, I went for the spring onion and the chili because it's got that nice sort of texture contrast and the colour. That's gonna look really cool. Now, we get our hands in and make the patties. If it gets too wet, we add more flour. If it's too dry, maybe add a bit of water. But you'll see, look at this. It's coming together like that. You can now mold it into a ball, into like a flat disky shape. I prefer them in a disky shape like this. And that is a crab cake. Okay, so I've savagely ripped down, savage? Phoebe's just joined bigger school and she's come back with all these phrases like, yeah, Dad, that's savage. I've just, yeah, some roughly ripped baking parchment. I've got them all lined up there ready. My oil's ready. Let's fry them up. All right, as you guys know, I hate frying. So I'm just gonna show you this once or twice. I'm gonna lower this in carefully, then drop it in, let it bubble away, and we're just browning the outside. Oh, if you don't want to fry them straight away, you could put them in the fridge or freeze them for another day. But look at that, it's coming on already. Ah, there we go. Right, onto the kitchen towel. And I'm going to do that a bit more, all right? See you in a bit. Oh, I'll tell you what, it's 9:30 in the morning and I fancy a crab cake. Really, you want to be eating these. I didn't intend to do that. Fresh, like, oh my gosh. You've got that crunch. The warm crab inside just tearing away, and the chili and the spring onion cutting through it, but you can add so much more to that. Wow, that's good. Actually, potatoes go well in it as well sometimes, give it a real nice sort of floury texture. It depends how posh you want to make them. 3-ingredient tartar sauce with that would be mayonnaise, capers, and some dill. Just whiz that up, be quite nice. Or you could do a sweet chili sauce with vinegar, chilies, and sugar. Sorry. That crab cake was phenomenal. I really do want to add some more seasoning to it, so really make sure you customize it and add so much flavor to it. You're gonna love that. But that has given me a bit of a sweet tooth. No, tooth. I get always told off by you guys for saying that. Tooth. Tooth, not tooth. We're gonna do a tart, a raspberry. What the heck is a raspberry? Raspberry and lemon tart. This is some ready-made puff pastry. I went for the posh one. This is an all butter one because I'm hoping, again, could I use an egg for egg wash? Would you let me do that? I don't know. But with this being an all buttery one, a slightly more fatter content, maybe it'll be golden anyway. We're gonna roll this out onto a tin. And yes, I realise I just said tin rather than tray, but if you want to correct me on stuff like that, you are watching the wrong cooking channel, my friend. So I believe with these, this actually is a baking parchment that comes generally with these puff pastry sheets. So I've left this at room temperature. It's still actually a teeny bit cold. If you unravel it when it's too cold, as you do that, it can sometimes crack. So I'm going to be a bit careful here. It's my careful face. All right. That is slightly too big for my tin. Tray. Sorry. So all I'm going to do then is work out roughly where it is. In fact, you could probably leave that if you want and have it as a sort of funky crust, but we want it to kind of create its own crust in a minute anyway. So let's just get this off. Right, there we go. Bob's your uncle. So this one is a proper 3-ingredient one. We've got the raspberries, although I would like to add a bit of sugar that to take some of the sharpness out for the bit we're going to do now. But don't worry, that'll be counteracted by the lemon curd because that's basically just sugar in a jar with a bit of lemon. So I'm just going to add a handful of raspberries to a food processor. Struggle to get my lid on. Oh, what's going on here? Come on now. What's going on? Hang on. Oh, I'm in stuck or something. Right. I think we've sorted it. A few raspberries in there. My lid goes on. Let's try that again. There you go. Right. Right. That's all I wanted. I just wanted whizzed up raspberries and I've got them. Okay, so the lemon curd, which actually I'd love to show you how to make a homemade lemon curd soon. And then the raspberries that we've whizzed up. And there are seeds in this, so you don't have to keep them in there. If you want, you could push it through a sieve and squish them up even more. But I kind of wanted this. I don't know why. So we're getting that raspberry lemon thing going on. And any of that sharpness now has been immediately eliminated. So with puff pastry then, if you score a border with a knife, you almost created like a little window inside your pastry. Now add your filling inside this window, okay? The rest should hopefully puff up around it. All right, I mean, it's not the neatest. I've got a bit of a splodge there. But this is just really the theory, guys, all right? I want you to blow this out of the water. It only should take about 15 minutes as well. See ya. Whilst that's baking away, we are going to need the oven for the risotto, but we can crack on with getting the porcini, which is dried mushrooms, ready. And to do that, I'm going to basically boil my kettle. I just went and looked, and I must have, like, well, I was looking at the camera, pressed it down, and it's flipped back up. I wondered why it wasn't very noisy yet. Right, jug. And what we're gonna do, the great thing about porcini, it's gonna make a stock for us. So if you don't like mushrooms, which I understand from years of making videos, that a lot of people don't like mushrooms. I am not one of those people, I love them. But you could just replace this with a different vegetable and also just use like a vegetable stock or something like that. Actually, would you consider stock as an ingredient? Can we do, is that any stock? I mean, it is. But we've got, yeah. Oh my gosh, these are the porcini mushrooms and they look like toenails. It smells like a garden centre. But anyway, looks like the worst sort of cocktail you've ever had. But you can see it's starting to stain there? It's creating the stock. So let's dunk it. So I'm gonna use my old spatula to help with this, and look at that. Oh, you can't hear that too well, but it's actually sort of fizzing. But all we're doing, these are like dried mushrooms. We're hydrating them. So by sitting them in here, it's gonna bring all that flavour out. I mean, we've done quite an amazing stock there already, but really let it soften up for about 20 to 25 minutes in there. You see that? You've got where we've scored it, actually a little bit of where it's spilled over. It's created caramelised edges on the side, which is really, really good. And what I would say, whilst it's still warm, look, you can see like there's bits of puffs of air in there. One thing that I probably should have done is stab the base with a fork, and that would have stopped some of this popping up, but it will just deflate naturally. So whilst it's still slightly warm, just spread that a little bit more evenly around there. But for now, I'm gonna let that cool down, and we've got to go back to our porcini. All right, sieve with some kitchen towel in it. It's only because porcini tends to get like actual bits of grit in it as well, so this should catch it. I'm gonna pour it through. Okay, you see that? We're just pushing the stock through the kitchen towel, so it's catching the mushrooms, any of that grit as well. That is some really strong stock down there. And of course the mushroom is going to play part of the risotto too. All right, so that's done, and we have used water, as we know, as an ingredient, but hopefully everyone's got access to a tap. And to fry off my onion, what I'm going to use is some butter. I could dry fry it, and that would kind of work, but I just want to add that little nutty flavour, just a teaspoon anyway, okay? Okay, so I'm going to use a roasting tin on my hob, okay? You could use a frying pan separately if you wish for this bit, but it's going to help because we can stick it in the oven in a moment. In goes the butter. I love how I did that. And then this is just one chopped onion. Okay, that's it. We made a really nice butternut squash risotto recently, and it's the same sort of theory, because all we're doing is we're just going to make the onions go translucent. We're not going to really brown them and char them right now. Okie doke, so that's been about 3 or 4 minutes. Starting to get a teeny bit of colour. I might have pushed that a bit too much, but it's all good. This is some risotto rice, and we're just going to push that around so it mixes and hangs out with the onion for a couple of minutes. Now, adding wine right now would be phenomenal. Really what you want to be doing, but we're not doing that. We're going to chuck the stock in instead. Woo! So that has cooled that right down, but that is a super strong flavour. And last but not least, our mushrooms. And what we're going to do is just bring it up to a simmer for about a minute or two, and then I've left my oven on from that tart to go in there. Oh wow, look at that, all simmering away. Amazing. We're not going to leave this for too long though. The rice is super, super absorbent, so we're going to get this covered. Oh. So that's covered in foil, and we're now going to bake it. I've slightly lowered my oven by about 20 degrees. We're going to go in there for about half an hour, and hopefully when we open sesame it, the rice will absorb all of that flavour, and we'll have a risotto ready to go. Should we finish our tart off? Yeah. So I've just given the rest of my raspberries a wash. Ah, there we go, straight off the baking paper that came with it. Brilliant. And how I would love to just add some icing sugar, grate on some lemon zest, which is definitely what you should be doing. Some lime. Ah. But no, I'm just basically making a funky little pattern with the raspberries. And I think this is going to look pretty cool anyway. Well, that is if I can make it look symmetrical. There we go. That looks amazing. I really like that. Dust it with icing sugar, please. Do it for me. And remember, if you try any of these recipes or if you're ever cooking, do tag me in your attempts. I'd love to see it. That's so crazy how a fool in his kitchen with a camera can like inspire you guys. I absolutely love it. So thank you so, so much. God, I got a bit deep then, didn't it? Should we show them the world's best chocolate brownie milkshake? Okay. Whoa. Well, it is not the best, but boy, this is easy. We're gonna take 200 milliliters of milk. This is semi-skim, but you can use full fat. You could even use cream if you wanna be naughty. One. Oh. Just doing this off camera. It's getting a little bit kinky over here. Two. There we go. 2 dollops of good quality vanilla ice cream, the stuff with the vanilla beans inside. And last but not least, these are some chocolate brownies that you can buy from the shop that they're already done. They're really good for like an office party, something like that. And we're gonna need like just a handful of these. To help it, we can sort of crumble it in. So purely 3 ingredients or 3 items here. There we go, and that looks blooming good anyway. Straight on there, and we whiz this up. Bob's your uncle, I'm saying that a lot, but it is. Done. That easy. Oh. The hardest bit is getting the lid off it. Do keep this chilled if you're not having it immediately. And it's got a lovely sort of cookies and cream texture to it. There's that roughness, there's the crumbs from the brownie in there. Oh, in other news, my risotto's ready as well. But why not? I don't know if this is gonna work. Pimp it out a little bit more by just putting a brownie. I've just made a little incision in it for it to sit on the top. Look. Oh, nice. Very good. I just looked away for a minute and this happened. So, garnish is optional. Ah, give this a stir around. Ah, yes. Most of the moisture's gone. There's just a little bit of a trace on the bottom. If it's still a little bit wet, just bung it in for another 5 minutes. And remember, that was covered. It just gets all into that rice. I mean, I'm not even gonna try and do this pretty. I'm just gonna shove it down. You can hopefully even just see the flavours in that, just by the colours. It's a heavy sort of porcini smell, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm loving that. But as I say, you can swap this up to anything you want. Yeah, that's not pretty at all really, is it? I'll tell you what though, I'm nearly sticking my face in this. I'm very, very happy with this. Let's give a summary. Okay, so here is a summary. Look, the brownie pieces, now that I've let this stand for a couple of minutes, have settled to the top. I don't know if I like that. I'm not sure. Whiz it up if you want it back, or give it a stir, it's fine. The tart is looking so, so good. The caramelization in there as well, on the crust and the base. Our risotto is just looking phenomenal. And the crab cakes, I forgot about you. Oh, I love the crunch. That's almost got like a patisserie sort of vibe on it now. But you know what, my favourite bit out of all of it is going to be, not that hanging bit, but where the curd has sort of caramelised and that sort of stickiness, that's sort of bonding this all together. Not sure why I sliced that first. We'll do it in order. Crab cake, here we go. It's like cold now, but actually really nice still. Be really good for a picnic. There's so much more you can do with that, so much flavour you can ram in there. Oh, God, that's wholesome. Warming, satisfying. You got the kick of the onion just in there, but if I could add more ingredients, I would. I'd probably just definitely season it for sure, but just really ram some more, like the wine as well. Oh, but that works. It works. Yeah, chocolate milkshake settled, but if I give it a little tappy tap like that, you see, it's kind of blended in a bit. Yeah, that's very stonking indeed. That's so naughty. Oh my gosh. I love the bits of brownie just sort of working through. You got that real nice depth with the ice cream in there. The milk, again, you can make it richer if you wanted, but I don't think you need to. It's naughty enough. I don't really need to add any more to that. It just works. Extremely, extremely naughty. So I'll have some more. But here we go. I'm really excited about this one. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Oh. What I love about it is the base isn't too crispy. You've got that lovely crust, but the sugar has sort of absorbed into the base, so there's still a little bit of softness to it. There's a spank of lemon and the sharpness of the raspberry and the sweetness just over. That is, I would have that in a patisserie in Paris. Like, oh. What a Monday morning for me that was. Forget your ice and sugar. That's fine. 3 is a magic number. So there we are, another 4, 3, 2, 1 video in the bag. I think this is number 8. Well, I did number 8 in the thumbnail, so if I'm wrong, I'm gonna look very silly indeed, especially now I've eaten the food. Don't forget to have a barrel fun now, check out the rest of the playlist. And if it is okay with you, if I do carry on this playlist, if I can add a few things like seasoning and butter and oils and maybe flour, just some basics you'd have there, we can really take this so much further, and then you guys can just make it the most amazing recipes out of just a handful of ingredients. But if you want me to stick to the 3 thing, I don't mind. Let me know, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Check your level, player. No matter what your style, the kitchen's for me. Simon's moustache, goatee, maybe all three.
You see, what I'm trying to tell you is it's more than 3 ingredients. The caramelization that the curd does is, oh, that's not even curd anymore, it's caramel. Oh. I need a work colleague.